In today's day and age, depression is especially common. I would like to share some conscious wisdom that will help you break the shackles of depression and awaken to a new way of living. Please listen to these words from a space of openness. Your unhappiness is not your identity, and no matter how down you feel, it's always possible to uplift yourself and transform how you feel without changing your life situation. We sometimes feel as though we cannot deal with what's going on in our life, but when we look closer, dealing with moments happens naturally, simply by experiencing them. You may be thinking that you've suffered for too long and that you cannot take it anymore, but does the past accumulate, or is this an illusion? Your past may be full of suffering, but the past has no power over the present moment. Realize deeply that the past can only burden you so long as you're thinking. In today's world, we are always trying to get to the next moment. I call this the next moment mentality. The only problem with this mentality is that peace is only available to us now and never in the next moment. When our minds take control, we find ourselves being tortured by an endless stream of self-destructive thoughts. How do we become free of these negative thoughts that divorce us from happiness? A thought without belief has no power. Once you realize deeply that you are not your thoughts, thoughts have no power because you are no longer identified with them. Disidentifying from the troublesome mind is one step on the journey towards peace, and acceptance is another. Many past sages have noted the importance of wanting nothing, the epitome of acceptance. Bodhidharma once said, "To seek nothing is bliss." Similarly, Socrates said that those who want the fewest things are nearest to the gods. The only thing separating you from peace is acceptance of the present moment. Unconditional acceptance of the present moment is important if we wish to live a tranquil and happy life. Once you resist nothing, you have little to think about, and your mind will become naturally still. And as the Buddha stated, when the mind is pure, joy follows like a shadow that never leaves. Our beliefs can bring us great suffering. Many people hold the belief that things should be fair. Deep suffering can arise when we believe that reality should fall into a mentally ideal but unrealistic framework. There are people who dwell in a state of misery because they feel like life is not fair. They want reality to be different, and their beliefs about how things should be make them suffer tremendously. This is how destructive one belief can be. Take note that your thoughts and feelings are perceived. This perceiving part of you that is outside of thoughts and feelings is free of suffering, so stay there. The mind is the home of your problems. The present moment is the home of your peace. Where do you want to live? If you find yourself in a negative life situation, remember this: you cannot be free of conditions, but you can be free of your mind. Osho preached that the greatest freedom is freedom from our own minds. Once you've identified thoughts as the primary source of your suffering, just observe as thoughts rise and fall. Many souls weathered the storm of depression before transforming the world. Eckhart Tolle, the widely admired spiritual teacher, once suffered from frequent anxiety and suicidal depression. One night, he awoke in a state of deep despair, and in the midst of his suffering, he thought to himself, "I cannot live with myself any longer." The thought repeated itself like a mantra. If I cannot live with myself, there must be two of me, the I and the self that I cannot live with. Maybe one of them is real, he pondered. His mind stopped and he let go of his resistance. Then he awoke, spiritually before physically. That morning, in a state of divine peace, he marveled at the beauty of his surroundings for the first time. His life situation hadn't changed, but he was no longer identified with his mind. He didn't fight his suffering, he awakened from it. He escaped the prison of his mind, and you too possess the key to freedom. Your joy does not depend on conditions. Don't be intimidated by your suffering. It is suffering that unites humankind. All people born into this world suffer. Don't let your feelings turn into thoughts. Witness your feelings without judgment and let them fade naturally. Remember, no storm lasts forever. Feelings come and go. All you need to do is let them. Stay grounded, knowing that suffering transforms us into radiantly peaceful and compassionate beings, which helps us in helping others. As reminded by Rumi, the wound is where the light enters you. Please share this video, subscribe to the channel, and visit selfsynced.com. Please feel free to spread positivity in the comments section.